Hi, good morning, TV3 viewers. This is Erica Gilsdorf with Leighton Broadcasting and TV3, and I'm with Anna Celine, the Executive Director of the Lakes Crisis and Resource Center.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. I'm glad you came on because I want to just get an update on what's going on. I know you said your fundraiser, which is going to have financial impacts on you guys, but this is a scary, surreal time. And what are your thoughts with mental health and crisis and impacts that you think this will have?
Yeah, it's definitely been a scary and ever-changing time. It seems like things are changing daily as we get more information, as new policies and protocols are implemented, and particularly for agencies like us that have a shelter on site. We are an essential sector of the workforce, so we've been remaining open. Our shelter has been full since the order went in place, including 17 children, 8 of them still in diapers. So it's been busy, but we've been containing it, and we've implemented a lot of different protocols as far as cleaning and sanitizing, daily, multiple times daily, limited, unfortunately, the shelter residents being able to leave. This is their home, so the stay-at-home order applies to them as well as far as staying here. The kids that are in shelter, we've had recess daily where we take them out on the back patio and try to have them burn off some energy. And unfortunately, the really scary part for me, and I think for our other staff, is that we're not getting the walk-in clients, the community clients who come in for safety plans or order for protection, harassment restraining orders. They're not coming in, likely isolated at home, potentially with their abuser. And so that's a very scary situation for us. The same thing holds true for children. They're stuck at home. Maybe parents are working, maybe they're not, but they don't have access to their teachers and the school counselors and our staff who go in and provide support groups for students, and can be that outlet and resource. Obviously, with school being called off, we're not getting in there to get access to those kids. So it's really scary, and I don't let myself go down that road too far as worry and wonder, because we just don't know. And we're preparing for, once the order is lifted, that we're going to be pretty busy.
Oh, I know. That's what we talked about before we started recording, that I keep thinking of you and your staff and the people out there that need your services.
Yeah.
And might not be able to get them right now.
Right. We are, we're providing mental health services via telehealth, but they don't have the capacity to take on any new clients at this point. We'll certainly be happy to make referrals or help out in any other way, but I would just encourage, if you are isolated and you're struggling, to please find a way to reach out, whether it be a neighbor, a friend, or a family member, if they need to reach out on your behalf to us, or whatever that may look like. Even our Facebook page, they can direct message us. It's typically me that responds, so I'll be happy to connect them with resources and make sure that we can communicate with them in some way.
Okay, that's good. So people can contact you, get to a phone, get to a neighbor, write them a note, please call on my behalf.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like all aspects of our work right now, got to get a little creative, unfortunately.
Right.
And, we're just making it work, doing the best we can.
I like that suggestion of getting to a neighbor or calling a friend and getting them to get to you if you can't do it yourself. And
right.
And for children, same thing, get to another adult and relative and talk to them about needing some help.
Yeah, someone that they trust, just reach out. I know there was a woman who came in, her coworker was struggling with an abusive relationship. And so she came in to get some information, and I talked to her and gave her a card, and she said she didn't think that her coworker would be able to contact us. So she was kind of the intermediary. And, is it ideal? No, but it's something.
Right. It's something. Yeah. Well, so then how do you prepare when this eventually lifts? You'll just take it as it.
Yeah, I'm preparing that we're probably going to have, that we're going to incur some overtime for staff because the needs are going to be great. I have encouraged staff right now to take some time off if they can, to definitely take care of their own mental health and self-care so that they are able to provide the best services for our clients. Fortunately, there have been a lot of emergency funds that have become available, and we've been looking into everything that we come across so that we will have a little bit of wiggle room to compensate for overtime, because obviously that's not built in to our grant, and the fact that we didn't get to have our largest fundraiser of the year, which is the annual banquet. So that would have been this past Saturday. So it's kind of an eerie feeling on Sunday morning. That's usually like the most relieved one day out of the year for me, because it's like, yeah, we did it, and it was a success, and it feels so good. And this year it was like, kind of stinks.
Right. And when I used to be the executive director of the Boys and Girls Club, and I know how much those banquets and those fundraisers mean for the things that are hard to get funding for, keeping the lights on, toilet paper, water bills, it's all the stuff that you need. So we'll just have to ask the community to remember, Crisis and Resource Center, because we didn't have that big chunk of money this year to pay for the
well, and then our expenses and our utilities have gone up because nobody's leaving. We're all here, or as far as our shelter and everything, we've also had to purchase different programs and platforms so that we can communicate remotely.
Right.
Not to mention all of the cleaning supplies and sanitization. So things that you don't necessarily think about aren't top of mind, but we have kind of, I wouldn't say minimal, maybe 70% of our staff here on any given day, just to try to, minimize some exposure. But we typically have the lights off just to help save on our electric bills. So we're doing our best. Okay. We're walking around in the dark here.
Well, it's the nonprofit world, and we're doing a community heroes thing, and you guys are the heroes. I mean, this is the trickle down effect is going to impact people, and it's things that,
I know. I feel for all of the small businesses in town too, who have gotten incredibly creative also, but the restaurants, and that was part of the reason too for our annual banquet. Not only was it not feasible, we couldn't physically get together, but it just didn't feel right to continue asking small businesses locally for donations when their own businesses and livelihoods are so uncertain.
Oh man. And I think of, when we used to own Lakeside, my family owned Lakeside.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, okay, we would be hurting, all of our staff would be hurting.
Right.
It's like, okay, it's not just Lakeside's closed. It's like everybody that relies on that place to be open, including the food distributors,
Right.
everything.
It just goes on and on and on.
I'm feeling for the small businesses too. And then like you said earlier, the mental health, we have to all watch both our own self-care and mental health, because the stress of financial worry, future health, what's coming, they say it might be July, but nobody knows, obviously. So
and I think all of that, the unknowns are what, if we knew, okay, on this date, this is what's going to happen and here's how we're going to react, but we can't. It's just being in such a reactive position and we've had, as one of the coalitions that we belong to, we have weekly webinars, and there's about 80 different agencies that are participating. And one of them said the other day that we are flying the plane while we're putting it together. And I thought that was a good, because everything is, we've had to write new policies and procedures and protocols and get, call emergency board meetings, and there's just
wow, that's a great analogy. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it. And again, why don't you wrap up with quick advice again for people if they are finding themselves in a crisis situation?
Find a way, if they can, to reach out to us. They can go to our website. There is on our website an area where you can click on Contact Us. It'll send an email directly from the website to us. There won't be any track of it in the user's mailbox. It just comes from the site to us. They can direct message us on our Facebook page. If they do have the ability, please call us at 847-7446. And if all of those are not possible as well, please reach out to a neighbor, someone trusted, even if they aren't in the community, whatever you can do to try to get some sort of access to help and assistance and safety.
And I imagine if you know somebody that's either at risk or has a child that could be at risk, they could also, reach out to you. Just check in and reach out to you just to ask for advice or tips on what they can do.
Right. And I think that is helpful with everyone right now too. Just a simple check in. I know we do it at work here, like just, hey, how are you doing? Are you okay? Are you taking care of yourself? Anything I can help you with?
Right. Yeah, that's great advice. Well, you take care. I know this is a lot of stress in your work with, like you said, your worry, and hope the community will do their best to continue to support your group, your Lakes Crisis and Resource Center, and thanks for coming on, and we'll have you on again for some updates just to let people know what they can do and how they can help.
All right. Thank you, Erica. I really appreciate it.
Have a good rest of the day. Bye-bye.
Thanks. You too.
Bye-bye.